talk to you today, I actually create with you a new project. This project, it's called the letter project, or we can call it initial project. Why I say initial, you would say? Well, in the past, when the printing press didn't exist, people created their own books. They had to do a specialized group of people, usually they're the monks in monasteries, who preoccupied themselves with writing those books. Actually, they didn't write the books as such. They got the text, usually there was the Bible, and they created those beautiful letters, the beautiful text, and they choose certain sections in which they pick up, usually at the beginning of a paragraph or a very important section of the book, and pick up one letter and make it quite big. You see, like the letter B here, we have a letter O here. And it was not just the scale of the letter, but it also its elaboration. That means how many different elements were added there, how many beautiful colors. And remember, at the time, blue color was super expensive, and so to use it, it was used only in certain sections, the very important ones in such books. So those books were called illuminated manuscripts. Oh, now we call them books. And again, the letters in them were super important. So truly, those monks who created them were true artists. So in our case today, we want to create our own initial. So what I suggest that we'll pick up one paper that is watercolor paper or Bristol paper. That means medium heavy paper that can really hold the watercolors and will not wrinkle very much. So we also will think about the font that we'll be using. So for example, here we have the font of the bubbly letters, and I really like them very much because they are fun. You can also choose a different font, that's up to you, but I will rely on this particular one, okay? So I really like the shape, I mean how fat and nice and curvy those letters are, and I will place one of them here on the side and make sure that I will use it as a reference. Now, since my first name is Izabella, I want to use the letter I. And that's why I have chosen a piece of paper that is more of the very elongated rectangular shape instead of the square. I would use a square shaped paper when I would work on the letters such as W. That really takes, it's very wide, and so definitely will require more space. Now, when I will be working on this letter, I have to consider my composition. And the composition has to be interesting. So it's not just the letter that I will draw and later color. I want to make sure that the whole entire surface of the paper will become an art piece. So what I will do with the background of my letter, called negative space, I have to think, how will I preoccupy it? Will it be only one kind of color applied on it, or maybe an interesting pattern? So I'm having here my pencil, and first thing that I will do, I will think about the placement of my letter. So in this case, I don't want to put it too high, don't want to put it too much towards the bottom, and I want to leave the space on the sides. So if you think that will be safer at the beginning to use the ruler, let's see, I will do it. Then I will place here vertical line for my I letter, you see? So that looks okay. Now, I want to make a bubbly letter out of it. So I will go here, you see, like this. Like this. I make the bottom for my letter and I make the top, okay? Now, since I'm an artist, I can make a choice. I will make this beautiful circle on the top. So there's no doubt that I have the letter I here, right? My initial. Now, having it here, I have to think what else will be in this painting. Watercolor painting, because I will use watercolors here. I also can rely, you see, I placed it a little bit lower here. the line. And again, when I don't like certain lines, you see, as long as I don't draw them heavy, I can erase them easily. So you see, this particular preliminary sketch of my line done by the ruler, you see, I can now erase, and I have my letter. Now, just to show you a little bit more here, we bring it down. Now, what we want to do now, we want to think about the space here. So what I want to have here, I want to make it like a sun, or maybe a flower even. So you see, I'm placing patterns here. See, like this here, on the side. Here, and I place another one here. So you see, that already helps me. What about the bottom part? So on the bottom, I will think maybe about another set of leaves, like you see here, one, they're not patterns anymore, like set of leaves. Here it will be another one, you see, and this will be my stem almost, you see, so I can make the leaves coming here. I really like this idea of placing the leaves on the side. See, when I want to be more precise, I can make the vein inside of the leaf, and I think that I want to place another, or maybe not on the same, something between. So I place another one here, see, vein, and vein, and another one maybe here. So it is symmetrical and it isn't symmetrical. Symmetrical means that when I would cut this letter I into the half and then place one side on top of another, those sides should match each other. That would probably happen with the sides, but you see, those leaves are not placed in the same position, so it's not exactly symmetrical. Looks like, but it's not. Okay, so now from there, I think that I want to have some of my flowers. You see, they go like this, a little bit here, a little bit here, and I still have to think about, oh, maybe I place something here, maybe a nice heart here, see, and then I have to think, how will I occupy the space here? So what I want to do here, I want to play with this idea. Again, you are very much welcome to do whatever you think will work for your letter, right? For me, I think that will be a good idea, right? And then I can put the circles inside here, like you see, to repeat the same element. So I will do it here. Okay, take your time. Doesn't need to be complex design. You are the boss. You can decide how you want to do it, right? You see, here will be another one line here. I'm still missing this part here, right? So I'm going here. Imagine now, what can you place here? You can put an animal here. You are the boss, so you can do here whatever you want with it, right? So you see another flower, and I place another one flower here, right? And maybe something between here, going like this, okay? So this is my design. I need also on this side here, you see, repeat the same element. I'm going here, perfect. So now it's time for me to go with a marker. And I will use the heavier marker, and I probably will rely on the black one. I really like to use the black one, especially here, for just heavy outline, right here. You see, I will have one, I will have another one here. The heart, even the heart, I will outline it here. See this line, I can leave it then. I don't need to even fill it, the line with the initial with the pencil. And I decided it at certain point. At the beginning, I thought that I would keep it, but now I think no. See, I'm going here. So you adjust to that what you are working on at this particular time, right? If you want to change, bring some changes, feel free to do it, right? You are the boss. You are the magician. I call it always the artist, as well as you are the boss of your own work. You don't need to follow blindly one idea. If you decide that you want to switch, change it, do it. You see here, I made the line a little bit heavier by an accident. So, since in art, lots of such accidents happen, we have to embrace them and turn them into happy accidents, right? So that's what I've done here. You see, I make the lines a little bit heavier here. And then I will think about this design here. Okay, so I'm going here. You are very much welcome to use any color you think you want to use. You can use different color of the mark, different color markers. I like to use black, but it's me, okay? So now what I want to do, I want to switch to another color, and I will use my blue for this rounded shape here for sure. Put this rounded shape here. I like to have this kind of symmetry in terms of, oh, I lost this circle here. Okay, and then I want to have those leaves maybe done with green. So I have to look for my green marker. Here it is, my Sharpie, right? You see, I'm bringing it here. I'm bringing another one there. You see, I definitely need to have it here. Two veins on the side, big vein and then smaller veins, right? You don't need to make them, but I think that adds to the painting, okay? So I definitely will place this color here, and the flowers will be of different color, though here I want to have green line. So you see, I already changed my Sharpie to a Sharpie of different colors. See, here I have to fix my boo-boo, and I'm doing it here. You see, I can use eraser later on and take the lines that I don't like, the one done with the pencil. Okay, I'm going here, right, and I think just the flowers, and the flowers I will use a different kind of blue marker. You see, I'm going here with it. Feel free to pause this video so that you can continue working on your own to a certain stage, and then when you want to again watch what I'm doing, turn on your device, okay? Play it again. So you see here I have those beautiful colors. I think this is okay. I will add here some lines, and I think I filled all those lines. Okay guys, so now you can decide if you want to use pencil crayons, which I have here. I certainly encourage you to do it. So we can do them, for example, I want to use the red color here. I want to have my leaves done differently. So you see here I can come with this color. Feel also free to erase any lines that you don't want to have here, okay? So I think I will want to have red heart, that's for sure. And then the other colors we will find out. I think that, you see, when you think that this red is not intense, you can use some watercolors on it, okay? I have this pink color. I really like pink. So I will place the pink, let's see here. Okay, a little bit inside of those beautiful rounded, flowers, and I think I'm missing something here. I'm missing the connection here, you see? So I will change the color here. Good. Okay, so a little bit more here and a little bit more there. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to start using bright colors, and those bright colors will come with the watercolors. Okay, so what I need to have a piece of paper towel, which I always have with me. And why? Because when I have too much water on my brush, or if the paint is still on the brush and I want to switch to another color, paper towel will help you see, to clean it up. Okay, so what we want to do, I want to use a color here, yellow. I want to use, maybe blue would be nice here. Let us put yellow, maybe here. Okay, inside. Good. And then we'll use purple around. Okay, very simple. You see, there when I have green lines, there's no problem to go on the top of them with the yellow. And the reason for it is that green is a secondary color that consists on the mixture of two colors. As you can guess, yellow and blue. And the more blue we put, the cooler the green color will be, because it will have lots of blue, and blue is again very cool color. While when you put more yellow in the mixture, then your green will be yellowish green, and that means that the color will be quite warm, like the sun, right? The sun is the yellow represents the sun, and the sun is always warm, right? So you see how fast it goes? Oh my, we have already quite a bit of colors here. Now, what I want to do, believe me or not, I will come with the yellow on the leaves, because I can always change the color later to the green, right? By applying a little bit of blue or even green, right? So here we are. Now I want to also use the section here with, actually no, I will put some orange color now. I really like orange. So I will place the orange here inside of the circle that it's outlined with the blue. And I do it because we want to use the complementary color contrast. When you place orange color next to the blue, those colors help each other become brighter. And that's what I'm doing right now here. Now, I want to have this orangey color. Also, oh no, maybe I want to use my, my color that looks like raspberry, which is in acrylics. You will call the color, you will call it alizarin crimson here, or quinacridone red. They are fancy names, right? But why not to learn a little bit about them? So you see here we have this color here. I'm going here as well. You see, there we are. And then we go here with it. You see, there we are. A little bit of it here on this side here. And that's what we have. Look at this. Looks better and better and better. If you want to make the color a little bit stronger, you can help yourself by applying another layer, this time with less water and more of the pigment. That means more of the paint. You see here I have my paint. I want to show you here. You see, so I'm really dabbing there with almost dry brush, you see, and then the color is much intenser, much more intenser that why I applied the first layer, right? So here we are, guys. You see, boo-boo? Boo-boo is there because I crossed with the color the line. I should not do that. So be careful. Don't be like Madame Okay. Madame Okay talks too much, maybe, huh? What do you think? Maybe. Okay, guys, so you see, very colorful. Now we want to find out the colors for the background. And you know what? Some places can also stay white the way they are. So I'm going with the purplish color. And who can of you tell me why I decided to go for the purple? Who can tell me? Does someone of you know why I choose the purple here? Yes, of course, because it's a purple and yellow. Create another complementary color couple or pair. And so that means when you place one next to another or in proximity, they brighten each other and the painting becomes very colorful, right? And that's what we want here with this initial or with our letter, right? We want to have bright, beautiful image. So you see, that's what I'm doing here. I make sure that it's not super dark. So you see, I move, I'll either use, when the paint becomes too dark, I just use more water to make sure that I distribute it faster, right? So you see I can go here through the green, that will be no problem. And I'm going here to those sections here. Okay, you see what's happening. I'm leaving the white bubble here. I like it. So I'm already making choices on the spot what I want to do. And I think I leave those sections white, or maybe not, who knows. But I'm leaving this section for sure empty. The white one here empty. Right, you see here. Whoa, I don't want to go inside. You see here. I'm going around here. I'm going there. Oh, I like it. I like it. You see here. If you find that it will help you to move your painting on the other side, do it. See, it's whenever it's easier for you to work. You are the boss. And the boss makes the decision, right? So I made a decision here that I needed for my comfort, you see, and avoiding covering the sections that I don't want to have them covered, or the one that I want to keep white. I decided that I will move my paper from vertical to horizontal position. Okay, here I am. Notice what is happening here. Now I'm moving it here again, right? So that it's easier for me to work on the other section. So very fast here, coming. You see, you can think. I like to think when I work. I don't know what are your working habits, but for me, when I create something, I always either I listen to a nice podcast. I listen to, sometimes I play on YouTube interesting books. And that gives me lots of satisfaction because I like to do two things at the same time, right? So to create, to be artistic, and at the same time to learn something new. And remember, when we listen to the books, we always learn from them, right? The new experiences in our lives, very important ones. When I was of your age, I always read a lot of books. I was like a bookworm. And I think those books shaped my interests. Like I love history, for example. I love history. I love traveling. I like to go to those places I read about in those books. Right here, you see, and it's almost done, guys. Oh my God, it's so fast. We are almost done. You see here this section, and then looking here, we can decide if we, oh, still here, you see, still here, you see, almost done. You see how nice it looks? I have to move it here for you. Okay, look at this. See, colorful, beautiful, and you can leave the white. You can decide, maybe, do you think we should, oh, maybe I change a little bit the color here towards more green. So you see, I'm taking a little bit of the green paint and just gently bring it onto the yellow, right? So I'm getting the green that is a little bit more on the yellowish side, you see, here. Not too much. When I have too much again, I use my paper towel, right? So what do you think? Do you think you should work still a little bit here? I'm not so sure, you see, I'm not so sure. You see, I would try with a little bit of brown. Just a tiny bit, you see, it's almost wash. In the wash, that means I have very little of paint, very little, and lots of water to make sure that my color sorry, initial will stay the way I want. I need to put some yellow. I can see that I don't have contrast here, so just the last touches to finish my initial or my letter, depends how you want to call your project, right? And to intensify the yellow color. So you see, I think it's quite a nice project. So that's what we've done, guys. Here we are. I also want to show you another letter that I've done before. You see, that's another one here. And hopefully, oh, don't forget, you want to place your letter, once it's dry, of course, glue it to another paper, right? So for example, here it could be the black color. Look how nice it looks. Or if you decide, I have this color here. So for those of you who prefer a little bit more less contrasty paper, that would be okay. Yeah. So have a good time, work on the project, get excited, and see you next time. Bye.